Namaste everyone. My name is Vaishali Shah. You're welcome to our session on Hindu culture and lifestyle. My pleasure to be here today with someone who has done an extensive research on Kautilya's Arthashastra. So before we start, let's do a small prayer. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. उमा जी नमस्ते, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है.
Namaskar.
Umaji, I'll read your introduction to our audience before we start our session. So, Dr. Uma Bodasji is actually the management student and doctorate in management in Kautilya Arthashastra. She is currently working as a promoter of Prasad Gyanpeeth and a chief editor of a well-established and renowned publication, Prasad Prakashan in Pune. Prasad Prakashan is a 75-year-old publication. It publishes books and magazines named Prasad in Marathi language. It publishes authentic spiritual, cultural, and Indology-based literature only. The underlying philosophy of the organization is to revive the interest of the world in ancient Indian arts, literature, sciences, and languages. She is dedicated to this noble cause for more than 3 decades now. To serve the purpose, various innovative programs got developed like Pura Fashion Show, Pura Jewelry, Exhibition of Ancient Kitchen, Recreation of Ancient Spices are some of them. She has researched management threads in the same, which are published in her book, Human Resource Management in as Kautilya Arthashastra. It is appreciated by many management experts like Dr. P.C. Shejwalkar, Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, and Dr. Vidya Hattangdi. Dr. Vijay Bhatkar arranged a conference on this very topic to propagate her research works. She has been interviewed on TV and radio channels for the same many times. उमा जी आपका स्वागत है. मैंने जैसे बताया था, I would request to start start the session with your introduction, and then you can continue with our presentation.
Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to the world of management in Kautilya Arthashastra. I am thankful to Mrs. Vaishali Shah for giving me opportunity to reach out to you all. I am Pune-based researcher and work as a publisher. It's my great pleasure to study the same topic. It has helped me in my business very well. I wonder how these 2,300-year-old books still work and apply to today's modern era. So now we will look at the topic. बुद्धिजल निर्झरे सिच्यमाना देशकाल कलशेहि दर्शयिष्यति कार्यफलं गुरुकं चाणक्य नीतितता. Siddhartha prescribed the Chanakya Niti, that is style of Chanakya, in the above word at the beginning of the 5th scene of the drama Mudrarakshi. He wishes to explain that when the veils in the form of Chanakya Niti is watered by the container all over the nation with wisdom, then the beautiful fruit will be a success in the world. In simple language, if one uses the style of Chanakya and supports it with work in the respective work area or the containers all over the nation and also reinforces it with intelligent decision, then such a project will surely be completed. The single verse mentioned above is enough to understand the great place that Arya Chanakya had and still has in the field of management. Kautilya Arthashastra. Rudrapatana Sham Shastri rediscovered the Kautilya Arthashastra, Chanakya Niti scripture in year 1905 AD. Kautilya Arthashastra is a scripture written exclusively for political science. Even though political science is the main objective of this book, It also considers all the aspects of living. All the fundamental principles of management, along with their application, are mentioned herein. The main feature of this book is it is supported by the knowledge of knowledge of the previous generations of Chanakya. Later, Chanakya added from his own experience, expertise, and research to make it a complete guidebook. Even in today's world, it proved to be as useful as before. Arya Chanakya put into practice the knowledge included in the book to bring down the Nanda dynasty and then erase the Magadha dynasty. Hence, the book becomes more important as it has the dates of knowledge and proven usefulness in reality. Apart from this, the said book is completely suitable to Indian society and accordingly it is designed to be applicable. In the modern era of globalization, one can bring forth more all-inclusive management in the light of the said book and by combining both the line of thought. Why can Kautilya Arthashastra be presented as the science of management? One might ask, will this scripture be useful? Previous to the Industrial Revolution, basically, business was in a small-scale industry form. State organizations, however, could be small or quite big like an empire. The same is seen today in the case of the government as well as multinational industries. The said book, though, is based on political science. Its format is basically aimed at management technique of running a nation or state or region. Management is the technique suitable to regions as well as industries. After 2,300 years of its formation, many of the sutras might prove to be a bit out of place, yet many of the principles are timeless, and hence the book seems to be equally useful in today's scenario as well. Let us have a look on Arthashastra, means economic its definition. The name of the book has Arthashastra mentioned here. We are bound to know the true meaning of the word. Kautilya himself mentions the definition in the book as Manushyana Mrittirarthaha, Manushavati Bhumivityararthaha, Tasya Prithivya Labha Balaropaya, Shastramartha Shastraviti. Artha, its meaning is, Artha is the means of a person's earning. The land on which people reside in the earth is the earth. The science which tells about the benefits of such land and also about the solutions regarding its compliance. Let us take a look at the definitions of management that are generally acceptable by modern management science. Peter Tucker said, management is a multipurpose organ that manages a business and manages managers and manages workers and work. George Terry says, management is a distinct process consisting of planning, organizing, actuating, and controlling, utilizing in each both science and art, and followed in order to accomplish predetermined objectives. Apart from these two definitions mentioned here, there are many others available. However, the two definitions are a good representative of what management is and present almost all factors there. In short, the definition tells us that planning, organizing, actuating, and controlling work should be a well-defined aim and it should be scientifically and skillfully acquired. Management is managing the business from the best managers and getting them to manage the business. Considering the definition mentioned here, the following aspects are included of it. To acquire whatever we don't have either land or money, acquire. Protection of what we have acquired, sustaining. Increasing that which we have protected, growing. Employing people to get all three above mentioned criteria done, getting done. In short, getting all three things done, acquiring, sustaining, and growing in management. It also means that Arya Chanakya defines management in a very different style. It contains something different from the definition of modern management. Considering the current definitions, a few questions like why is management required, was it successful, or was it a failure remain unanswered. Kautilya's definition is built in this regard. It is equally applicable to any branch of management or governance. Any meaning or that does not fit into acquire that which you do not have is not materialistic wealth. Whatever we acquire has to be sustained, and whatever is sustained needs to keep growing. Else, the governance or the business does not sustain. One single person can do all these three things, but then that will not be management. A person will be a manager only when he or she gets the three things done by others. This is the most entrepreneurial definition. A few terms from Kautilya Arthashastra explaining the management related concept. The scripture by Arya Chanakya. The Kautilya Arthashastra is written in Sanskrit, and also it aims mostly at political science. Hence, we have to keep in mind that many a time a word originated in Sanskrit might have different meaning than what we know of. Dharma, Vinay, etc. are many such words having in-depth meaning, and hence it is better to call these words terms instead and understand them well. This will enable us to understand the subject of the book and with reference to management in a wider aspect. The meanings of words are as per the Sanskrit English dictionary. Now, the first term, management, means Vyavastha, Vyavasthapan. What is the meaning of Vyavastha? Means to manage. There are many meanings to this word. And these are to manage means to keep separate, to arrange in a particular manner, to confirm or to settle or to show direction, to cope, to decide, to adjust, to resolve, to separate, to execute, to make a law or rule, to follow law, to have a trust, to be firm, the related situation, the standing rule, law, lawful rule, etc. It also means order, decision, lawful advice, written law, especially where there is a suspicion or when two controversial texts are to be combined properly. While having a written agreement, situation, and current scenario, decentralization, written agreement, these are all the meaning of the said word vyavastha, mean to manage. Bringing all these things into reality and getting them done means management. While governing, all these aspects are required to be looked after for management. And governing includes management. Second, Vinay. What is the meaning of the Vinay? It is giving. It means giving direction in a unique way. A leader who guides. These are the meanings of this word. But it is command of two separate words, be plus nay. So what is the meaning of be? This comes as a prefix to a noun and verb while highlighting the remaining part of the word. The uniqueness of the verb or the noun that follows, the suffix is attached to the verb or noun, that is vinay. Then what is the meaning of nay? There are many meanings to this word, showing clues, meaning related to the management. They are as follows: leading, guiding, managing, behavior, code of conduct, having wisdom, having a vision, the one who is profound thinker, prudent, politically shrewd, civil administration, political policy, ethics, justice, honesty, equality, scheme, overall composition, principle, direction, time, system, teaching, opinion, philosophical system, all are the meanings of Vinaya. Apart from the word mentioned above, the whole word Vinaya also has many other meanings. To guide, discipline, giving instruction to someone regarding fulfilling duties, giving ethical education, office, business, high ethical conduct, humble, these are some meanings of the word Vinay. That's why Arya Chanakya has given the name to the first chapter in Kautilya Arthashastra, Vinaya Adhikarikam. Means, who is the authority of management or leading? Answer is illustrated in this chapter. It gives a detailed program to train and develop managerial and leadership skills. By learning true meaning of Sanskrit terms, helps to understand in this way. When we consider all these meanings, we realize that this single word underlines all duties of entrepreneur and expectations about him. Any business will want its manager or entrepreneur to be qualified with all these qualities. Third, adhikar. The same word is adhikru. It means keeping in control or authority. Those with authority are adhikari, a person or a thing related to the higher senior authority. It also means the authorized work or the person concerning official work. The officer should acquire the effective skills for personality development based on truthfulness and trust to enhance strong correlation. Anvichiki. Kautilya has first mentioned this term and has shown its importance. Anu means after or from all sides, and Isha means to see. The knowledge which viewed from all sides is Anvichiki. It also means prudent. Together, the Sankhya Darshan, the Yoga Darshan, the Lokaya or Charvak Darshan form these Anvichiki. This includes logical way. Balshastri Harda quotes in his book T. Ganapati Shastri, the modern orator, explaining Kautilya's Arthashastra, explains the word Anvikshiki as अर्थतत्त्वस्य हेतुभिः परीक्षणम् अन्वीक्षा सा प्रयोजनमस्या इत्यान्वीक्षिकी अन्वीक्षिकी सर्वविद्यानां प्रदीपः परीक्षणसाधनत्वात्. It means Anviksha is the examination of the principle of Artha by testing it with various methods. The one who performs such Anvisha is the Anvikshiki. It is meant to examine all the knowledge, hence Arya Chanakya calls it the Pradeep of all the knowledge. Hardas considers the word Anvikshiki as a logic in this respect. Anvikshiki helps to attain proficiency in Prajna, wisdom, sentence, and act. It brings proficiency in thought, articulation, and conduct. Both the Sankhya Darshan and the Yoga Darshan guide about how to bring stability to intellect. Once we take this into consideration, we get clarification as to how any person trudging along with personality development. A king and all the other important people should study this. A person who is a leader is required to have a stable will and prudence. The importance of other things as required for a business or a state can be understood with the help of such stable will. Anvikshiki also talks about dharma and adharma. That means what is to be done and what is not to be done. Artha and anartha means what will give financial profit and what will lead to monetary loss. Naya and apanaya, which means which is a proper policy and which is improper policy. Hence, Anvikshiki is considered as the pradeep or light of all knowledge, the solution of all deeds and their result, and is the shelter of all the dharma. Trayividya. Samaved, Rigved, and Yajurved are the three Veds. Along with them, the Atharva Ved and Hita Ved are included in Veda literature. Shiksha or Uchar Shastra. Kalpa means Shrauta Sutra, Guhya Sutra, and Shilva Sutra. Vyakaran, Nirutta, Chanda, Jyotish, Astronomy. These are six Vedantas. The Veda talks about dharma. We will consider this concept of dharma later. However, for the time being, let us understand that dharma is law. It is good to understand that the dharma, as it gives a clear idea of duty of four varnas and four ashramas. The study of Trayi is considered to be important so as to understand these above mentioned points. Discretion, prudence, virtue, capacity to remain stable in good and bad situations, enhancing wit, bringing purity and rationalization in speech and act, courage, tenacity, empathy, respect toward all the living beings, These qualities are specifically enhanced while studying the Trayvi. It also helps to understand the difference between Swadharma, Dharma, Adharma, Artho, Anartho. Further, it also enhances the will in a way to make it possible to decide upon fundamental aspects and policy regarding the world. Varta. The word Varta is formed from the word Upajivika, Vritti. The knowledge of Jivikopai, that is, livelihood, is Varta. It helps to understand all the means to livelihood. It is categorized in three ways. One, farming. Secondly, livestock rearing. Thirdly, commerce. Acquiring knowledge in these three areas helps a person to choose a favorable business or livelihood. However, important might be the logic and dharma. Unless a person had fair means of livelihood, the two knowledges can never become stable. Any management should have a scientific form. The Varta knowledge helps to gain money and grains, workers, livestock, forest goods, and waste for livelihood. Ancient economics were based on farming, commerce, and livestock rearing. Only if Varta is the base, the state can flourish. Treasure house fills up. When the house is filled up, it becomes easy to protect and to take care of the people. Now, we will see Dandaniti. It must be understood in three parts. Danda. Danda means to punish, to bring stay in the form of cash or other type of ways or any sort of punishment. In short, creating fear, governance, law, the king symbol of power, king staff, military, etc. are all the meanings of the word danda. It must be taken here as a tool to maintain discipline. Obviously, nature of danda for this modern era should be accordingly. Danda is an important tool of in the prosperity of the state with the help of Anvikshiki, Trevi, and Varta. Till the time of Kautilya, the governance was based on Dandaniti. Later on, it started to incline towards spirituality and religion. The power of Danda has to be strong to keep the people safe and happy. Help to keep Yoga of the king, state, and the people strong. Yoga is the attainment of the unattainable, and Kshema is to sustain. Thus, Yoga Kshema means prosperity and security. The king and the business administration runs in a proper way and is also based on proper ways. Danda has to be in action so as to avoid any kind of misdeeds. Niti. Now, Niti. Its meanings are to guide, to direct, to manage, code of conduct, temperament, policy, work system, wisdom, ownership, good manners, good conduct, etc. are all the meanings of the word niti. In management and moreover, in all overall business, good conduct is essential for materialism. Any business comes into existence for doing good and useful deed for the welfare of the society at large. The welfare can mean wages which would sustain a person working in the organization to run his family properly, the finance generated from the business, the nation's progress based on it, and the conservation of culture. To make this happen, a niti-bound society is essential. Good conduct, that means sadvrutta, is different from a good behavior, that is sadachar. Sadachar is the group of acts which are considered to be good by all in the society. Sadachar is relative to culture and Sadgutta remains the same all over the world. For example, given consumption of alcohol is considered to be durachar, bad behavior in India, whereas it is acceptable outside India. On the other hand, to steal or to lie are considered to be bad acts all over the world. Here, we are concentrating on Sadgurutta. Considering this point, when we are thinking of Nitimanto or being ethical, we will have to use all the meaning in a broader term in management. Now, Dandaniti. The word Dandaniti means justice, judiciary, civil, and military administration 15, science of politics, administration 15, for the working of governance and for always maintaining peace and security. The political rules have been made. The science which defines the rules is called as Rajyaniti Shastra, Rajya Shastra, Artha Shastra, and Dandaniti. The word that we discussed above explain the working of Dandaniti. We will have to pursue the Dandaniti, which will help us to know how to acquire new means of finance, way of income in business, how to protect the wealth acquired, how to grow the protected state of income, or how to use the improved wealth. Anvichiki Train and Varta are maintained through Danda. The way to use it properly is Dandaviti. This knowledge vidya consists of four qualities, namely अलब्ध लाभार्थ रक्षित विवर्धिनी लब्ध परिरक्षणी and वृद्धस्य तीर्थेषु प्रतिपादिनी. Hence, it makes possible to get a thing which is unobtained, it protects the thing that has been received, it grows the protected thing, and it donates the grown things at a proper place, and hence it beneficial. People really depend upon it. The danda is recognized by the philosophy as the base of the dharma and financial life, and it also aptly felicitates the danda, the good use of the danda, which is said to be the foundation of philosophy, religion, and economic life, should be understood as a beautiful experiment of danda or discipline, or in other words, which is a scientific experiment that tells the result and is beneficial. This kind of scientific experiment is called Dandaniti. And Dandaniti is a science, and Arya Chanakya has called Dandaniti as Vidya. Kautilya has suggested 4 tests to verify if Dandaniti is being successful or not. First, getting things done that are not available, protecting those acquired things from all sides, growing the things that are acquired, and fourthly, proper use of the things which are growing. These are the 4 criteria. Kautilya says that the nation or state which expects good, stable life for its people should always keep its staff or of discipline Danda ready. There is no other tool as useful as Danda to keep all the living beings under control. The definition of management that we have considered in the beginning also suggests that Dandanity can be called as management style. Each manager should be able to think properly about how and when to make precise use of the Dandanity, as only experience and study can decide about the rigorousness of a punishment. One should be able to examine the personality of the employee and decide about his ability or disability. Prajna means to know, to have information, to be familiar, having an understanding of these means prakarshena janati. It means a person who understands in a special way is knowledgeable, and such special knowledge is prajna. Prajna has such salient features: strong will to learn newer things, attitude to listen, learning in reality, holding capacity, ability to understand a subject to its deepest core, being able to discuss or analyze or criticize, ability to discuss the topic with a holistic approach, attitude of sticking to the theory and grasping the principles while keeping away the unnecessary usage of words, etc. All the leaders of any business should possess these qualities. Apart from these qualities, one should also have orator skill, maturity, strong memory, power, easy ability to manage all the things, easy control over things, mastery in all kinds of designing, having no bad habits or addiction, a strong capacity and tendency to do what is desirable and proper under any kind of stressful situation and under normal circumstances, all these qualities are proof of prajna. These qualities are enhanced by the study of Anvichiki, Trayi, and Bhakta. Of course, one should basically have the ability to understand all these. However, this can also be shaped by study. A person with all these qualities mentioned here can be called as a genius prajnavanta. The modern personality development expects these qualities in the actual development of a personality. Now, dharma. Dharayati iti saha dharma. This is the definition of dharma. It says that dharma is the management system by which a society's mindset progresses and becomes steady. And the single concept, dharma includes many subjects. There are various meanings of the word dharma. Yet we are going to consider a few which are related to management. These are discipline, law, use of law, rules, tradition, lawful rule, indiscipline, right, justice, moral duty, or following moral principle, good conduct, style, code of conduct, deciding what is right or wrong after giving consideration to proper or improper law and administration. Any business runs on discipline, rules, and laws based on such system. Only then it can remain on the path of progress. After understanding say, every person should inculcate the discipline and develop one's personality. Only then the discipline is well inculcated. Hence, entrepreneurs or businessmen and managers should have a knowledge of everything. In the ancient time, each person was considered to be factor of the society, and hence the Dharma system helped to include all-inclusive system. Accordingly, a systematic approach was developed which allowed each person to walk on their decided path of the following one's own dharma, which further helped in their personality development. Swadharma. Swa means I, aham. Many a time it is reflected as a common noun in a sentence. Whenever we want to give specific information regarding say, we use the prefix swa. For example, swadharma. It seems that this word will tell more about one's own dharma or what a person's dharma is. We have already seen the meaning of the word dharma. When this dharma is fixed for others, it becomes swadharma. We have also seen that what personality development is. It is imperative that it is imperative to understand say before deciding upon swadharma. While doing so, one should give consideration to one's special characteristic, position in the society, vices and virtues, set duties, relations, and all the aspects of a personality. It becomes easy to decide upon swadharma once we understand our personality way. While studying the price, all the aspects considered to be important for personality development are developed. Once the self-duty and self-worth is defined, one can form a rule and code of conduct for the same. When Swadharma is thus decided from the point of view of a manager, then his work can be analyzed in the best possible way, and he is able to perform his moral duty quite well. These moral duties are included in the Swadharma that is decided upon as Sadacharan, good conduct, is an inevitable part of the Dharma. When everyone follows Dharma, it bears good fruit. If it is not followed, then the person has to bear the brunt of it, and in case of the manager, the institution has to bear the encroachment. Now, Chaturvarga means division of labor. During the Arya period, institution of qualitative orders of people existed, and it was called Chaturvarga. They were divided into Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. This is a very important aspect. Differentiation of Varna is based on the work done by a person, and also it is based on quality. Sattva, Raja, and Tama is considered as main guna of his nature. Each person carries a combination of these three together in a particular way. A person performing Brahma Karma is inclined more toward Satguna. He possesses the Rajo and Tamo Guna in a very small quantity. A person who is able to perform the duty of a for a Kshatriya in a strong way possesses more Rajo Guna. He has less Sattva and Tamo Guna. A person who is performing the duty of Vaishya is inclined towards Rajoguna as well, but in comparison to the Kshatriya, he possesses Satvaguna in very less quantity and Tamoguna in little quantity. The one who serves is the Shudra. He does so with immense honesty and present hard work. He is inclined to Tamoguna and has Rajoguna in little quantity, while Satvaguna is in extremely little quantity. These principles of karma and guna are considered to be the qualities at the base of the Chaturvarnya Samstha or institution. The expertise of Dharma and Arthashastra has spoken about the different dharmas of all the four varnas. Tarkatirtha Lakshman Shastri, one of the great scholars, writes the Dharma Shastra expertise have applied the terminology of all of four varnas to the classes arose as a result of different business and different classes who have to make justice system act simple and easy for the hundreds of castes in the society. The Dharma Shastrakar and the Arthashastrakar found the distribution on the basis of Chaturvarnya very useful to keep within the lawful and practical limits of grade, prestige, authority, and special authority. It does not seem possible that somewhere, sometime, there was a pure Chaturvarnya system available without an extra differencing. Chaturvarnya is the classification of hundreds of business groups for the sake of just businesses. It is beneficial to take a look at one of the references given by him, where he says, "Tapo vidya prabhavaistu te gachanti yuge yuge utkarsha chapakarsham cha manushye shviha janmata." It means they take birth in all those eras here in the humankind and seek penance or have the seed at which that effect attain progress or degree. Shudra become Brahmin, Brahmin become Shudra. Same can happen with Kshatriya and Vaishya. The Yajnavalkya Smriti specifically explains that as there is change in karma, the work, there is change in varna. The winning color is hardly seen while considering Chaturvarnya. The complete society was thus distinguished. There was flexibility in it. It also permitted everyone to accept Varna based on their karma or work. However, it can be said from the management point of view that the concept of division of labor was behind it. You can see it in this chart given. As shown in the above chart, in the modern management, labor division can be made based on Chaturvarnya and Guna and Karma. This will help a person to understand their own basic mental nature and inclination. This will enable to gain highest level of work capacity and production. In the Vedic period, the division of labor was based on Varna, and Varna were decided based on duty and responsibility. No Varna was considered higher or lower. All the Varnas were on the same level. Without disturbing the ancient Varna system, Kautilya made use of it for governance of the state. A greater portion of Bhakta, farming, cattle, commerce, and Karukushi Karma, that means art, was handed over to Shudra. Partha was responsible for making the economic foundation strong. Overall, Arthashastra has considered the Shudra Varna as one of the important factors of the society's economy. All the work related to village businesses and entertainment lies with them. Growth. It means to grow, to flourish, to increase. The one who has fully grown up, the one who is old, a person who is the master of some skill or knowledge, wise but maybe young, any such person can be called as Jnanavruddha. A manager can be of any age, but it has high knowledge, then he should be given proper status and his knowledge should be put to good use. If the Guru's age is less, but his knowledge is of high quality, then he should be considered as better and things should be learned from him. Indriya Jaya. Winning over the senses. Vidyabhyas, studying helps to control the organs or senses. We have 5 working organs and 5 sensory organs. One had to learn to have control over these 10 organs, which further makes many impossible things possible. Apart from the yoga sadhana, this aspect is very important in management as well. When a personality is fully developed, this is achieved. One has to have control over all your senses in every element of decision making, correlation, management. Otherwise, a manager will not be able to perform proper action. The Indian personality development expects that rather than falling prey to the organ, one should create a situation where he has full control over them. Conquering or winning over the organ is Indriya Jaya, where the natural inclination of each sensory organ or the work organs is stopped in a way that they are no longer turned to that particular aspect. In the case of business or industries, we can say that when a manager keeps aside his personal opinion or wishes or likes or dislikes or opinion for the sake of the welfare of the organization and remains true to the rules of the organization, then he has achieved Indriya Jaya. Schedule 2. The sixth form, Kama, lust, a desire to enjoy many things, Krodha, anger, Mada, pride, Moha, delusion, Matsara, jealousy or envy, and Lobha, greed, are considered as sixfold. Ripu means enemy. These six are considered as negative characteristics of a human mind. These six play an important role in personality development. A person achieves Indriya Jaya with the help of much training, and any of these six enemies put the effort in vain. Hence, in personality development, the meddling of these enemies have to be avoided with the help of the parent or control over mind. A mind should be made so pure that these enemies will be uprooted completely. Vivek. Vivek or discretion is the characteristics of the mind. It indicates buddhi or intellect, which is one of the distinctive traits of mind as considered in psychology. The others being mana, chitta, and ahankar. Discretion is the quality that decides justly what is right or wrong from the things presented. It is the power to decide the good and bad without any interference of moha, swartha, and maya, etc. The one who has the capacity of viewing everything discreetly becomes a very successful manager with an extremely matured personality. Indriya leads to discretion. It reflects the truth. The wisdom gained through Vivek help to cross over all the hurdles. Mantra. Some Sanskrit English dictionary by Apte Karve states its meaning to consult, to take counsel, advice, resolution, plan policy, statesmanship, secret plan, or consultation. These are all the meanings of the word mantra. These are essential for management in a state or a business. There is a lot of information about how to keep the mantra a secret and how to make use of it, which we which we will consider at an appropriate time. Now, Mantri. Mantra Mantri is the advisor who gives direct advice. Though the word Amatya and Mantri show the same meaning, completely shows the minute difference. The Ayodhya Kand in Ramayana mentions the difference between Amatya and Mantri. Minister or Mantri is of the upper level and keeps an eye over all the Amatyas. All the Amatyas were under the authority of a Mantri. Even then, they both fall under the highest officer category after the king. The Ayodhya Kand mentions this difference in Amatya and Mantri. The Yuddhakand tells us that there is a difference between Sachiv and Mantri also. Mantri is given more salary than the Amatya. The policy deciding the decisions which have long-term effects were taken by Mantri. It seems that in ancient times, India had two separate divisions. Cabinet means Vishaya Nirdharini Sabha, and ministry, it becomes of Amartya. Those in the ministry would appear and clear the special exam, seek promotion, and become mantri. As the name suggests, the cabinet looked after the planning of policy and gets it done by the Amartya. Amartya means Amasahavasati, means the one who stays very near the king, confident, a close associate who can give required advice to the king. He helps the king in a special way, yet he is not a consultant. Amartya does the real implementation. He is considered an executive officer. In Manipuri, we see that Amartya's work is related to land. This particular class is given the duty to keep a detailed record of the villages, towns, forests, fields in the state and look after its management. Purohit, he is very much important person. Who is he? He is a person who is given the duty of completing all the religious rites and rituals or someone to whom some business or work has been delegated. Hence, even though the person who is a Purohit is related to the religious work, he was also appointed to get some business done or conduct some work. In this respect, the Purohit had a distinct place during the Ved period and thereafter in the king government as a wise comparer. The Purohit that we see in Indian political science had just become a namesake. It was not so previously. The state as an organization depended upon the scholarly guidance by the Purohit. He was one of the highest ranking officers controlling the state organization. Kautilya says that a king should remain under Purohit's order. All the important scriptures like the Rigved, Atharvaved, Shukla Yajurved, Sanhita talk about the importance of the Purohit's 15 and give the description. He is like a guru to the king, and it is his job to keep the king on the proper track. He would decide if the king's actions were proper or improper. It was his job to decided upon the policy of the government. And a Purohit should acquire knowledge related to Rajaniti and Dharmashastra. This is mentioned in scriptures like Rigved and others by throwing light on the importance of the Purohit's work. Here one has to consider the words Niti and Dharma as rights and rituals and discipline and law. His position was so high that in the absence of the king, he could govern the nation. It becomes clear from the ancient scriptures and poems that on special occasions he would act as the ambassador. Bhagavad has said, the nation which had a perfect Purohit with all the highest qualities would never get badly affected. After the Gupta period, the Purohit no more remained a member of the ministry, but his impact to keep the king on a good path or required path was seen strongly. Now, Sachin. In the Yuddhakand of Ramayana, the difference between Sachin and Mantri is mentioned. The table below is given. The table below give is a fair idea about their grade and their report thereupon. And also it will help to understand that various kinds of Sachin were included in the management. There are types of Sachin, secretary, state secretary, chief secretary, under secretary, king secretary, deputy secretary, foreign secretary, and finance secretary. Ramayana mentions this difference in Amartya and Mantri. The Yuddhakand tells us that there is a difference between Sachiv and Mantri. Mantri is given more salary than the Amartya. The policy deciding decisions which have long-term effect were taken by the Mantri. It seems that in ancient times, India had two separate divisions. Sorry. Now, Upadha. Upadha means examination. The secret interview system was followed in ancient times for the sake of appointment. It was not just an interview. The candidate was thoroughly tested to consider his capability and loyalty. As also, these examinations would help to test the candidate degree of love, fear, economy, dharma, etc. Apart from other qualities, Vishakadatta felt that the qualities like Tantra Yukti, that means administration skill, capacity to protect the boundaries of the nation carefully, Mantra Raksha, the capacity to keep a complete secret about the policies, decisions, and mantrana should also be tested. Janapada. Jana means human, a living person, a group of people, and Pada means society, state, nation, empire, authority over the subject, under jurisdiction and people, which refer to any business if one considers the business as a nation, state, or empire. Then the people become the customers of or the Janapada or the market. Chanakya's quote, Praja Sukhe Sukhe Rajyaha, matches well with the quote, Grahak Devo Bhava. Hence, every business should strive continuously to keep its people happy and under control. Shasan, to govern. This word has many meanings in Sanskrit. Instructor, message, dominion, scripture, decree, written contract or agreement, doctrine, rule over, punishment, grant, writing, discipline, royal edict, justiciament, charter, enactment, direction, correction, any written book or work of authority, edict, self-control, deed, cent- deed, central government. All these meanings help to explain the many layers of the concept. The many acts that are required to govern are explained through the word, whether it is a state or a business, governing or conducting the work. In that respect, the Shasam concept in a business helps on multi levels. All the work related to Shasam seem to be pointing towards management. This makes us understand that this concept itself is multidimensional. Now, yes, sir. Its meaning, dictionary states its meaning as violation, infraction, loss, destruction, fault, defeat, defection, weak point, calamity, misfortune, distress. This means that breaking up a rule, an act of leaving the party or the country, etc. These are all misfortunes in the nation or in business. Kautilya says that vyasati enam shreyasa iti vyasanam means addiction takes a man, a king or a leader away from his credit. While moving out of the kingdom in an order to attack another kingdom or while beginning a huge project for the sake of it for a business, it is essential to consider the internal condition, the potential danger, the current danger, etc. Based on it, further action can be taken. Internal calamities include any disaster on any of the states or business subcontinent. These disasters can be twofold like natural calamities like earthquakes, drought, famine, etc. or can be caused by human-made mistakes in having wrong salary, policy, planning, execution, etc. The Arthashastra has fixed the sequence of the seriousness of these adversity, dangers, hazards. We will consider them separately. All the important and essential concepts have been mentioned here. These all mainly indicate the science of management. Based on these concepts, we can understand what exactly Arya Chanakya wishes to say. Thanks for listening to me. धन्यवाद. Any question?
Yes, I have. I really enjoyed going through your presentation, and I did not feel like stopping it halfway. But you have you have explained about how things were managed by people and the kingdom of that time. One very specifically you've mentioned about Chaturvarna. I want you to explain this thing in more detail. were there any, did you find any kind of imbalance between all the four Varna people? And did you see any kind of suppression to the so-called, Shudra, which are, which the way they claim it today? So in case if you have come across this kind of remarks in Kautilya's Arthashastra, please explain.
Yes, there is much difference in Kautilya's Shudra Vichar and nowadays Shudra Vichar. But as we are facing 2,300 years the gap between, we can expect such change. And any system which when it becomes fixed, it becomes so hard, then such if it can be occurred. That's fact.
Okay, but then there was no difference between the communities, and this kind of disparity wasn't there, right? What the way it is there today, the way we consider Brahmins as the higher and the others as the lower, right?
Thank you.
Okay, so any last remarks you want to share? Because as I can see, whatever question I had in my mind, they were mostly answered in your subsequent slides. So any last remarks you would like to say? I also want to tell this thing to my audience that our speaker has a partial disability in her hearing capacity, and that is the reason we did not have this conversational session fully. That's why we had to decide to make a full presentation, and then based on that, if I have any question, I could ask. So I think I'm sure my audience has learned a lot from the management terms and the management ideas and the way they were managed earlier, and especially those who think that there is no connectivity and there is no practical applicability of those things today's time. You are absolutely wrong, because we have observed that it is almost the same. The society is just the same problems what Chanakya was facing and during his era, we are facing of we are facing of the similar types. I mean, there is hardly any difference. There is no difference in the social structure. Only maybe our equipments, the way we communicate, the mode of transport, the mode of other things have changed, but the mentality of the people and the problems which are usually faced by a nation or a country or a kingdom, maybe that time, all are same. And that is a reason it is so relevant to study Chanakya's Arthashastra even today. So if you are a management graduate, because I have done it, I have studied Chanakya's Arthashastra and Sun Tzu's Art of War, which was also written around 2,500 years back to learn strategies basically, and that is still relevant today. So whoever is out there listening to us, interested in management strategies, I think both the books are highly recommended, and you must study Kautilya's Arthashastra as well as Sun Tzu's Art of War. So Umaji, any last comment? Then we close the session here.
No, it's all right.
Okay, fine. So thank you, Umaji. Thank you so much for this lovely presentation. There were some of the slides which I had to take a picture, because I just loved them the way you had presented. Thank you so much. Namaste. Namaste.